Stewart Lee. Stewart Lee. These days. Never mind if you say you're English, you'll get arrested. These days, this week, if you say you're a Republican in the UK, you'll get arrested. Or Britain then. Well, it's gone bloody daft now. It's gone really daft. I don't know what the police are doing. I don't think they know what they're doing. Talk of making matters worse, in the last few days, the amount of supporters for republicanism has multiplied many times. All those hovering, monarchists, republicanism, ism, in the middle. Well, we've got to rebalance it somewhere. Right, I'm going to become a Republican. Well, not me, people. I'm a middle of the ground man, me. My only criticism of the monarchy and monarchianism in the UK, it needs slimming down desperately. That's all. Slimming down desperately to be more like, other European countries have got some sort of monarch, like Spain, Netherlands, Belgium, Norway, Sweden. You know what I mean. Or even blinking Monaco, Monte Carlo, Monaco, that sort of thing. I don't like to call them hangers-on in this country, but there's a few very, But this week, the way the police have been carrying on, I don't know where they're getting their orders from. Daft things like, where you going with that large piece of paper or card or something, and it's blank. Yeah, a fella was leaving church, right, and he was trying to get home in Oxford, and they were bellowing out the session thing, Privy Council session thing, on or something like that, or something else was going on. I don't know. Well, he'd been to church basically. So because to him, his king is Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ, the only king type thing. So he was still in church mode. So he's walking past and he heard all this and our king this, our king that, and said, who elected him then? Or something like that. And then people turned around and then all the wokes or something, and he said something else. But the cops came along and arrested him, shoved him in the back of a van and everything. And they wouldn't tell him what he was arrested for, what law he had broken. Anyway, shoved into the back of a van, and they took him to the police station in the back of a van, which is only 100 yards down the road in Oxford. And then and he was left in the back of the van, and you could hear coppers outside on their radios and talking and God knows what between each other. And what's he doing here? What are we supposed to do with him now? Oh my God, I'm telling you. So this week, if you're a Republican, you'll be arrested. Like they did in Russia. Remember the Pussy Riots? They kept their mouths closed. Yeah. And they're all stirring the pot as if they want it to happen. Because, they're all up in arms, all these Republicans now. Say, right, we're going to do something next Monday during the blinking, what's it? For God's sake. It's just the atmosphere of this country. We've got a government that's been carrying on the way it's been carrying on for many years. After Brexit, Remainers like me had the same sort of treatment. Well, before the vote even. Remainers like me got the same sort of treatment. Oh, yes. And I got into a bit of bother a couple of years ago. I got arrested by the generally known as malicious communication, which is basically malicious communication online. I got arrested because all this Jeffrey Epstein and Prince Andrew and Ghislaine Maxwell thing was going on. I made up this piece of fiction out of, I thought it was quite funny myself, but obviously some people didn't think it was very funny. It's just a total piece of fiction. And I posted on a BBC news comment thing all about it, and I was up to there anyway. It was in August, like, and the weather was warm, so I was drinking beer. And then I had a knock on the door 2 months later, in November. Oh, what a palaver, man. Anyway, the saga ended, in one way, the saga ended in early January. One of my second appearance in the Magistrate Court, I got a phone call from the desk sergeant in Harvard saying, "Oh, you don't have to turn up. The case is dismissed." Oh, sense at last. Public prosecution, Department of Public Prosecution, PPC, is it? Fuck's sake, I can't remember now. This is way back in end of 2019, early 2020. And it was ludicrous. I got my MP involved in everything. It was just a total piece of fiction. You find in any book. And it was only just highlighting the way the BBC were protecting Jimmy Savile for so long, type thing. That's the main point I was making. Yeah, and just saying, like, all of you, watch yourself. I know I didn't know harm to anyone. How could you make harm to BBC? That's the only harm I ever know. Well, I was in the right to criticise them, wasn't I? So letting Jimmy Savile carry on for so long. Yeah, and what else was there? Oh yeah, anyway, and the thing was, I got my bloody computer taken away. I turned my life upside down because most of my life was on my computer, and I didn't get it back from November until April. And I was phoning. I went off the grid. Everyone didn't know what happened to it. Where the hell is it? Where's it gone? And I had people phoning me up then, and I was explaining, pass the message on and all that. Christ, I just went online banking, lost all that thing now. I didn't have I didn't have a smartphone with me then. I was just using an old-fashioned, I was using landline as my main phone number, in the good old days. And I did have a sort of mobile phone, but I hardly ever used it. And it was just a basic phone and message thing, but I used it. So I was getting on the landline. And anyway, first of all, I binned my broadband account through the landline. And then eventually I decided to transfer it onto mobile like this now. So I cancelled my BT account. Well, I didn't know. They gave me the final bill and I ignored it. I owed them about 130 quid. I said, fuck that. They can go and fish. I said, if they come, I've got my fridge cut off. Unplugged because I don't need it. Shop's just down the road. I just buy food each day. I don't need a fridge. Like back to the good old days. 1940s, 50s, 40s, early 1950s. Don't need a fridge. I live on my own. And I'm eating healthier now than I ever have. And I don't drink milk because I've lost the capability of digesting milk. Can't cope with the lactose. you know, lactose. And many times, if with milk, right, it either goes straight through me. You know, what used to happen was, say, make a porridge with milk. By lunchtime, it comes out the other end, same way I ate it. And sometimes, you know, for instance, if I drink milk, half an hour later, I'll be puking up like a baby. And the milk is still there in my stomach as it went in. I can't, I can't cope with lactose anymore. Lost the ability in age. So back to the point I'm making. Well done, coppers of the UK, or Great Britain mainly. Oh God, and Stormont. Oh, Prince Charles was in. Prince Charles, King Charles the Third. Hey, what you know, King Charles Third. Third. Okay, parties in Northern Ireland. Anyway, oh, what a hypocrisy, man. Their Stormont is closed up DUP, so they couldn't even do a proper bloody thing for King Charles III in Northern Ireland because Stormont's been shut, or because of DUP action. They're looking stupid now as well, aren't they? As well as bloody British cops. Oh, I'm telling you, this bloody country. And it all comes from the top, see. If you've got a messed up government, the whole country goes to balls. And appointments, like the education secretary. Have you heard the things he's been coming out with in the House of Commons the last few years? And they made him the education secretary. You know, he used to be a teacher, believe it or not. Well, he's not a teacher now. I think perhaps the various headmistresses, headmasters sort of, he had to do supply teaching in the end. Well, he's an MP now. And he's been made education secretary. And talk about far right talk. Fucking hell. What is this country coming to? If you've got people at the top the way they are, as they are at the moment, you know, the hints of North Korea are showing through. You know, arrested. You know, every royal event since the beginning of time has got a small little bit of criticism in the crowds when they're passing. You know, whether it's going like, showing their fist up, you know, just leave them carry on. Don't bloody arrest them, because this is a boon to the Republicans. Because even me now, right? Even me, I'm hovering more now towards Republicans, Republicanism, because this is not right. Since time started, you'll always get a small section, you know, which do something in the crowd. Just let them carry on. They're harmless. They just want to make a point. That's it. They'll make a point when they're passing, and that's it. Well, one of them wasn't even a Republican. He was having to go Prince Andrew and the way he's carried on. And some other fella assaulted him, grabbed him from the back, pulled him back onto the ground. He should have been arrested. It's disgraceful, man. You know, he was within his rights to make that point. You know. Well, there was something I know. I'm not going to repeat it. I'm not going to explain the incident, but there was one little creepy thing Prince Andrew did earlier in the week. Oh my God. Well, I don't know. I saw the clip and thought, oof, that's a bit bloody strange. You know, keep your hands to yourself for God's sake. You know, people are watching. But there we go. Right. Bye-bye. 15.